Now I will put this revolver back from a single action to a double action to demonstrate this is single action only. Double action does not work. I am opening the frame. Again, I'm only opening this far enough so that the thread's clear and the screw stays in so that the trigger does not come out. I am gently prying this open. And it lifts out with a little notch up here that comes out. Once again, I'm going to take the pressure off the mainspring, or the hammer really, by turning this until I can put this pin in here, and the mainspring comes out. Again, this is the part that moves the cylinder. We'll take this out. This is the safety, which goes right here. So it goes in here so that the hammer cannot strike the firing pin unless the trigger is pulled. And you notice here again the hammer part is under the trigger, and the part that makes it double action is missing. So I'm taking that hammer back out. The part that opens the cylinder always comes with it for some reason, but as long as the parts are together, we'll just put that back. I have my parts for the double action, which is a spring, the actuator part, and a pin. These pieces go in here. There is a hole in here that holds the spring, and then once we put all this together, we will put the pin through the larger hole into the smaller hole. So I'm putting the spring in. And it really only goes one way, goes this way, and then these holes need to line up. That's the bigger one, so it's a little bit tricky. Especially if you have big fingers. And it did not work. Try this again. you want to do this on a surface that in case you do lose one of these pieces, you can find it again. And here it is. It's just a matter of just trying to get it in. So it's under spring tension. Once again, the pin that holds the mainspring came out of the hammer here, which I will put back in a minute. This part here of the hammer will go under this part, and then basically this little wheel goes in between here. The little wheel can become a little problem. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't, but in any case, this pin that goes through the trigger and through both sides of the frame needs to go through this hole into the frame. So I'm going to try to get that in here. Looks like it went in. I'm going to take the mainspring and put it back in. And since my pin came out, I'm going to put the pin back. I'm charging the spring, take out my little holder, and I'm back in business on this. Now, that little wheel needs to be centered with the hole in order for the actuator for the cylinder to go back in. If it's not all the way, then we just have to kind of play around with it until it goes back in. It's in. This is the safety. And it's back together. So I am putting the plate back on. Again, the little notch goes on the top, goes into the frame. I'm making sure this and this is parallel here. I am turning the screw back so I can demonstrate that we now have double action again. So single action and double action.